Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Skyrim Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Sweeping Organizes Stuff mod, which is being made by user WSkeever. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the ability for you to clean up the messes of the world with a broom. And I love this mod. Now, what I mean by cleaning up messes is, well, there are scattered all around the world all these just random physics objects lying about, whether they're in, like, courtyards like this or in markets, and inevitably they tend to just get sort of budged about in the world and end up looking like a mess. Even if you're not doing anything, just simple NPCs walking around in market areas will inevitably strewn all this stuff around on the ground, and it looks hideous. But now with a simple broom, all of those things can be put back in their place, and I love this mod so very much. So let's take a look at how all it does work, and we'll have to begin with some mod dependencies. For this thing to function, you are going to need the Power of 3's Papyrus Extender, as well as the Skyrim Script Extender 64. With those installed, you can have this mod with no issue, and be able to, well, do what I'm about to do here. Go into my items, go to miscellaneous, click on just a broom I found in the world, and put it in my inventory. And now, I sweep, and all of the things go back into their proper place, as you can tell there. It's that simple, and I love it so much, because, I mean, come on, who among you has not gone into Bellathor's goods and stood right atop that table in front of the door, knocking all the things round? Now, with a simple broom, it can all be put back in its place. Or outside in the market, whether it's a vanilla stall or one of the many modded installs in the world, those two can now be cleaned up from the mess that will eventually become their existence. And I simply love it. Now, there are some limitations. This is meant for cleaning up objects that exist in the world already. So if I was to just take an item and drop it out of my inventory, it's not gonna put that back where it's meant to be. That's your own clutter that you have dropped on the ground. It's meant for, well, things like this, these leather straps that the modded in castle I have has put here specifically as, you know, sort of a decorative thing. Now, once it is looted, that is no longer a part of the world, and it's not going to put it back in its place, but so long as it's still there, and, you know, just knocked around, it just takes a broom to clean it up, and you're good to go. And it will clean up everything around you within a range of, oh boy, 10,000 units, so quite a ways away, which does mean it can sometimes take a while. Whenever you do go to, you know, into your items and use the broom, you'll notice that my compass goes away at the top and I actually can't move. But once the compass returns and it says up there, finished sweeping in the top left-hand corner, it's done. And the more things there are in the area, the longer that takes. So here in my just little modded-in castle, it's not so bad. But in the center of the Whiterun Marketplace, it can actually take upwards of about a minute or so for you to be able to eventually gain control back again for your character. So there is, you know, a bit of give and take here, but overall, I think it's definitely worth it. And I love the ability of, no matter if it's a vanilla locale or a modded in home or village, what have you, it works. Basically, just anything that's placed in the world by the game or a mod, it will pick back up. So if we go into our kitchen here in my castle and just, you know, move around all these freaking plates, and let's actually go to third person this time, because you can't tell in first person, but it does actually play a sweeping animation. So if we go here to third person, go to items, go to our broom, there we go, we're gonna start sweeping, and all those plates and bowls are just gonna start magically reappearing back where they should be. And that's just magnificent. Now, you could probably tell it took a little tiny bit longer in here than it did outside for me to regain control, because well, there's a lot more objects inside this house than there are out in the wilderness where this castle does sit. And so, yeah, it's just going to take varying amounts of time depending on where you are, how many things are in that 10,000 unit radius, and you just kind of let it roll. And all of your things, all of your messes you and your NPCs have made will be cleaned. And that, I love it. Because, I mean, come on, like, look at this glorious magic room that this modder has created, and you can easily just make a mess of it. And if you want to put it all back together, well, yeah, now you can just do this, and it's all back together within seconds. And that is just glorious. Now, you may have actually noticed something, another weird oddity to it that happened over in the right-hand side over here. For some reason, it seems to harvest things like the dried elf ear and stuff. You may have seen those things falling out of that, which is a bit strange. So there are still some oddities and limitations to this, and some weird things that may happen. But overall, look at the table. It put everything back to where that modder who so lovingly made this room placed it all to look good. So you don't have to worry about making your homes a mess, because with the simple click of a broom, you're good to go. And that's really all there is to talk about with this thing. It's just a fun, wonderful mod, and with me and my slight OCD for some things, I just absolutely love this, especially because I have a tendency to make a mess in this game, and even if it's not me, just NPCs wandering around in towns will inevitably knock stuff over. That's not your fault, and now you can put it all back so it looks as good as it's meant to. So yeah, that's really all there is to go over with this thing. It is a wonderful, wonderful mod that you really should check out. And if you would like to, link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is gonna be it for this one today. Hopefully you all have enjoyed, and you do come back for whatever we do look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, yeah, have a good one. Now I'm gonna go clean up the world. Later, folks!